Hi there, family. Well, I know this may sound something like a cliche when I say it's wonderful to be back with you, but I really do mean that. I think what I'm doing, it may seem to be insignificant, but I think it is part of my calling. Just doing what God told me to do. All right, so today we continue with the word poor, and I'm going to share with you what my mother in 2003 I was living with my mother, and yeah, I just want to tell you what she said. All right, so she says here, my first concern was whether this was a terminal illness with the possibility of losing my only child and my mother's only child, and I am not spoiled, please. But my personal experience with illness and having God's presence strengthened my faith that God would take care of Nola as well. Knowing that she had a strong faith in God too enabled me to exercise confidence in God's plan. And I'll tell you, that's what the life of faith is about. It is being confident in God's plan for your life. She goes on to say, recollecting how God had answered prayers on my behalf, I asked God for a signal, not a sign, that He would carry Nola through. In the midst of her losing weight, I prayed that there would be weight gain, no matter how negligible. And there was. Her next visit to the homeopathic practitioner saw her gain half a pound, a whooping half a pound. I added in that part. That boosted my confidence, and I never had any worry after that. I admired Nola's commitment to the regime that was recommended with an emphasis on juicing, a high raw diet, and resistant exercises. It was and still is a rigorous pathway, but obviously, God gives her the strength to keep up with her routine. And I can tell what a routine that was. Having put Nola in God's hands from babyhood, I felt that God would use her with whatever limitations she may have had and be of service to Him. I am extremely proud to see her progress in all areas of her service to God. I thank God that He has kept her just as I prayed He would. I tell you, I am benefiting from the retroactive prayers of my mother. I am very grateful that God has saved her so that now I am in the crucible. She is at my right hand. I believe that God will bless her and extend her boundaries and fulfill His purpose in her life. So I have some comments here. My mother has always stood by me. From the time she held me up to heaven and asked God to bless me, that prayer was heard and answered. Early in my journey, I reminded her of that prayer and told her that we were experiencing the answer. My mom is always very calm and cool. I've made references to her interventions on more than one occasion in the prayer letters. She has stood like a grand old oak tree against the backdrop of my life. But she is also very much in the foreground. She has never once in my journey questioned my faith in God. She has been an encouragement in all the ways she knows how. Her failing sight at this time has not dampened her spirit. She is a very courageous woman. I know that directly and indirectly she has influenced my spiritual values. I would hope that we would never have to part in this life, but should it occur, we both know in whom we have believed and are confident that we will meet again, never to part. Thank you, Mom. You perform your dual role excellently, and today you can be justly proud of your only child who has lived to show your worth as a great mom. Let us keep our divine appointment. And quick, I have inserted here then April 27, 2016. Whoa, I could not hold back the tears that flowed after I read my mom's comment. She passed peacefully away in April 2012. God poured such phenomenal strength into me to go through that experience. I was able to stand by her grave just as her body was lowered and to utter a prayer of strong, unshakable confidence in the belief of the blessed hope. No tears and breaking down and bawling out, "We lost, my mother gone." I was composed and firmly embraced by God. Even now, I am convinced that I'm convinced in my heart that God is answering the prayers my mom sent to the throne of grace for me. I'm walking in her retroactive praise. But that was a rush to the end. I'll see you next time.